UN envoy to Libya, Abdoulaye has always urged all Libyan society to discuss a pathway to successful and credible elections in a secure environment. On Tuesday, Bathily has renewed calls on all Libyan stakeholders to refrain from any actions, including unilateral or non-inclusive decisions, that could precipitate a crisis and divert attention from Libya's common goal.
UNSME recognizes the efforts of the 6+6 committee as an important step forward. However, the mission has pointed out that the draft electoral laws in their current state would not enable successful elections. Further work is needed to make the draft laws implementable by addressing the legal loopholes and technical shortcomings identified by the High National Elections Commission.
Bathily also informed the Security Council of his intention to convene key Libyan institutions and stakeholders or their trusted representatives to reach, through inclusive negotiations and compromise, a final settlement on the most contentious issues before the elections begin.
Libyan institutions and key stakeholders also need to reach an inclusive political settlement on the main politically contested issues identified in my briefing to the Security Council on 19 June, such as the eligibility criteria for candidates for the presidential election, the provision for a mandatory second round for the presidential election, and the requirement to establish a new interim government before elections can take place.
For its part, the Libyan High Council of State, during a Senate on Tuesday, adopted a roadmap calling for holding elections 240 days after the approval of electoral laws, according to a local lawmaker.
The roadmap adopted by the Tripoli Basis Chamber calls for the formation of a unified government to implement the electoral process. It also provides for holding the polls 240 days after the passage of electoral laws.
It's important to note that Libya's elections were slated for December 2021, but differences between political rivals over who should stand in the polls and other issues prevented the vote from being held.